So this lesson is the lesson over having lessons without manipulatives. So I chose 4th grade geometry, and we're going to be discussing acute, right, and obtuse triangles. So, little math joke, you're pointless, because the circle has no points. Yeah, get it? Alright, so, what is a triangle? I know many of you already know, but just as a recap, a triangle is a figure with 3 straight sides and 3 angles. So we have 1, 2, 3 sides, and we have 1, 2, 3 angles. So now we know what a triangle is. So what is an angle? An angle is the space, usually measured in degrees, like we went over last lesson with the protractor, between 2 intersecting lines. So what there is there's a point, like right here, and then there's 2 lines coming into the point, 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. And what these do is they create an angle between them. You see how it is marked with the little curved sphere line right here, or in a 90-degree angle, it is marked with a box. So, on an acute angle, we will have a little bit smaller one. A 90 degree is a box, an obtuse is a bigger circle, and 180 degrees, as we learned with the protractors, is a straight line. So, just as a recap on angles. So, what is a line? Just one more time, is an angle whose measurement is exactly 180 degrees. Because at the end of the day, there's still a point. You can put a point somewhere on the line, and then you can have one line shooting out and another line shooting out in another direction. And what that does is it gives you exactly 180 degrees between side to side. It's also the same exact amount of degrees as a protractor. If you guys notice, this picture right here kind of looks like the protractors we were using last week. But that is a straight line. So now we have a little bit of a basis. So a right angle. A right angle is an angle that is exactly 90 degrees. So we have our point right here on the screen, and then we have one line coming straight up and one coming straight out to the side. What this does is this creates a 90-degree angle, and these should always be marked with a square box, and that is only for 90-degree angles. Alright, next slide. A right angled triangle. So just as we learned about the right angles, right triangles have the same thing. A right triangle is a triangle in which one angle is a right angle that is exactly 90 degrees. So same exact thing. If we cut out everything else here, it looks exactly like it does right here. Alright, so if we drew a line right here from that point to here, we would have a triangle. Super simple. So you're going to have one angle that is 90 degrees, and then the other 2 will be whatever they are. All you are looking for is the square, and that is the easiest way to determine if it is a right angle. So an acute angle. An acute angle is anything less than 90 degrees. So if this far line right here is our 90-degree angle, like we just saw, anything between here and here is an acute angle. So it can be 89 degrees or it can be 1 degree. It's an acute angle. So just as the right triangle, an acute triangle is a triangle with 3 acute angles. So that means each side has to be less than 90 degrees. So for example, we have one here that has 80, 70, and 30. None of those numbers are bigger than 90 degrees. And over here we have 56, 74, and 50. Once again, none of them are bigger than 90 degrees. So these numbers can be anything you want, long as they add up to 180 degrees, like we spoke about in last class. And that is how you make an acute triangle. An obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is anything that is bigger than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. So what they're basically saying is it can be anything from a right angle, which would be straight up and down, and then to the side. Anything wider, long as it does not go past the line. So let's look at an obtuse triangle. An obtuse triangle is a triangle in which one of the angles is an obtuse angle. So unlike the acute triangle where it goes off of all the sides, this is more like the right triangle. We're only looking at this one angle right here. The other two can be whatever they need to be, but this one right here, it just needs to be bigger than a right angle. So looking at it from a degrees side of it, this angle right here needs to be somewhere between 91 degrees and 178 degrees. All right, so any questions? Do we have any questions? Do we? Yes, no? No? Okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to break, or no, we're not going to go into groups. We're going to do a quick little worksheet over the acute, right, and obtuse angles. And what we're going to do is we'll read the instructions, write inside each triangle A for acute, R for right, and O for obtuse. And then we're going to list how many acute, how many right, and how many obtuse ones we have. And then we will submit this for a grade. Okay, so let's do one together. Then we get an pen. I'm getting a pen. Can you stand up and hold the camera? That's probably the easier way to do this. Like tacos. Okay, so this one right here is we're gonna look at the angles here. This looks like an acute angle. This looks like an acute angle. But this one here looks like it's bigger than 90 degrees. So we're gonna say that one is an obtuse angle, that angle right there. So that would make this whole triangle an obtuse angle, or triangle, obtuse triangle. All right, so let's look at this one right here. So the first thing we notice is this one has a square. So we instantly know that this is a right angle, and we will be able to put an R inside of it because it has this square right here. Try to make it easier for the camera to see. And last example. So we have an obtuse and a right, so an acute angle. Let's look at this one right here. So this right here, this side, or that angle, is less than 90 degrees. All right, now we're gonna look at this one. So that is not straight up and down. So that right there would be, see how it does not make a perfect box? That one right there would be less than 90 degrees. Which lastly leaves this side over here, this angle, which we can draw a little imaginary square next to it, is definitely way smaller than 90 degrees. So what we can tell from this one is this one right here is an acute. So what we're going to do is we're going to complete all this, and then we're going to count how many O's, how many A's, and how many R's we have, and put them up here. Also, don't forget to put your name, date, and class period, and then submit it into the box. Thank you. Are there any other questions about the worksheet, since we had no questions about the PowerPoint? Students.